Hello, and welcome to a new wall maze activity. We'll be driving our robot to point B today using our sensors. So why don't we get started? So far we have been driving through the wall maze using our drive forward block, I should say. And we continually wait for some sensor input. And we have been using the bumper sensor. And when that bumper sensor is pressed, we like to react. And in this case, I think our robot will be due to make a left turn at this first wall that we bump into. That left turn will take us in the direction of the letter B, correct? Let's try that. And yeah, we're facing the B now. We've got to keep going. We're going to drive forward. Wait until our bumper is pressed. And then it's time to react with a right turn this time, right? We bump into this wall and then we need to turn right. So let's do that. We're going to turn right 90 degrees. Here's one bump and the second bump. Okay, so now we're ready to, I guess, head forward. And when we bump into this wall, we can turn toward the B direction again. Here is a shortcut, by the way. Since we're using this unit of drive forward, wait until the bumper's pressed, and then stop driving forward and make a turn. We're going to duplicate those three and just attach them to the bottom of the code as one unit. So we said here we need to bump into the wall and make a left this time. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so we're facing the right direction. What is next for us? Well, we probably want to do that again. We're going to bump into the next wall. In this case, we're turning left. Let's see what that does. Okay, so that gets us over here, but we have to somehow find a way to tell our robot to turn down here so we can get to the B. What if we turn 180 degrees? Is there any way we can get our robot to make this turn here without telling it how, without using the drive forward for a specific distance block? We've been trying to avoid that one and rely on our sensor inputs. I don't see how we can. You know, if we try to drive forward again and wait for a bump, I think we're going to be stuck. Whoops. Here, let's get on here. Let's try that again. So our robot is sort of driving back and forth near this spot where it needs to turn, but it's hard to make that turn because there's no wall right in front of it. The wall is a little bit further. We can just kind of, I think we're going to end up getting stuck here if we don't do something a little bit different. So let's remove this. I think we even want to maybe change this, right? So we have been waiting until our bumper is pressed here. But maybe that's not what we need to wait for. Let's just try this code one more time. So far we've bumped into 3 walls and then we're poised to make this turn, but we never get to make it. Let's try a different sensor. We're going to introduce something new here. We're going to drive forward until we know that we're a certain distance away from this wall without bumping into it. We actually have a sensor that will tell us how far away we are far from the closest object. So if we know that there is a wall in front of our robot and we want to turn when we're, say, this distance away from that wall, we can compare the value of our front distance sensor to the distance we want to be from the wall. So let's try that. We're going to get a comparison block from the logic menu. Okay, comparisons are here, yes. So this is called a comparison block. You can check if two values are equal to each other. Less than is, are we less than or equal to? Is the left value greater than the right value? Or is it greater than or equal to the value on the right? So in this case, let's see if we can make a turn when our robot gets kind of closer to this wall. So the question is, how far are we from the wall right now? We can find out by actually opening something called our dashboard. This button here will open the dashboard, and it gives us some very helpful information, including the value of the distance sensor, which is all the way on the right. It's telling us right now that this wall is 522 millimeters away from us. And we want to drive until our front distance sensor is less than, well, something less than 522. But we don't really know what yet. How about if we kind of run our code, drive forward, and try to stop our robot when we're in the position where we do want to turn? That could be a good guideline for us. So let's go ahead and run our program, and I'm stopping. Oh, I went over a little bit. So that was 202. So I guess the value we want to stop at is greater than 200, but less than 522. Let's try something like, it's greater than 200. Should we try 250? And when we get to that point, our robot needs to make a left so it can head into this corridor that leads to the B. So we're going to turn left 90 degrees, right about here. Let's give that a try. That seems like we went a little bit too far, right? If I keep going straight, I'm afraid my right bumper is going to bump into the wall here. I can even kind of see if I look this way. Right, I'm definitely going to bump into something. I need to stop in a different place. I need to change my values. I think we saw that 200 was too close before, and 500 was obviously too far away. But I think we need to be a little bit closer to that 500 direction. Let's make this value a little bit greater. Should we try 275? That's still a little bit too close to this wall in my opinion. I'd rather be more centered. 300? So I'm definitely doing some trial and error here, but I probably could be using my distance sensor dashboard values a little bit better. I could, for example, try running this again and try stopping in a better position. Oh, I still went over. This is something you might be really good at. I want to try it. Okay, that was 257. I think we just need to keep doing trial and error. Or maybe you're better than I am at stopping at the right point. You could definitely keep trying that. This looks a little bit better, right? Although I might be closer than I want to be on this side, but I think I would be okay. Maybe I'll make the value slightly smaller. So you're going to want to play with these values on your own. You could try to stop in the right place and look at the distance value in the dashboard. But in any case, try to get your robot to make the turn in the right place, and then you can keep going toward point B using either of the sensors that you are aware of now. You've got your left bumper or your front distance sensor. So those are two sensors that you can use as you continue to drive to point B. At this point, here's an example of code that can get you toward the turning point at the most difficult intersection. And I think from here you can probably take yourself the rest of the way to point B. Remember, we're using the drive forward block throughout. We're not using this drive forward for a specific distance because we don't need it. We're using our sensors. All right, good luck with this challenge.